Richie?
That's me.
Hey, what up, man? Can you hear me well?
I do. Yeah, I can. I hear you great.
All right, cool. Man, what's up, bud? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Getting ready to, get out there after 2 years of hiding and try and play some songs on stage for people without making a fool out of myself.
Well, how has it been for you? Like, you guys literally haven't played any live shows since 2020?
Right, that's right. I haven't. The only thing that I did when my friends were in town from Buck Cherry, I went down and got up and did a song with them, and that was
in the Canyon Club.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the bass player threw up all over the truck?
No.
You didn't hear about that? So the bass player of Buck Cherry ended up throwing up inside the tour van. We had to help them figure out how to clean it.
Oh, no. That same night?
That same night, yeah.
Oh, that sounds like, well, I'm glad I got out of there before that happened. My God. Good night, man. Well, anyway, that was the first time that I was on stage, since the whole lockdown, and it was great. It was a lot of fun, but now I've got a whole show to do, so this should be very, very interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be cool.
Do you have like a part of you that's excited, or is it more of like fear, like, oh shit, are we going too soon, or are people not ready to have live music or go to shows? How do you feel?
Well, I feel like, I think people are probably ready. I remember when, over the summer when the Foo Fighters played there at the Canyon Club, and I went to that show, and it was awesome, and people were certainly ready. And I think people are still ready. The only thing that crosses my mind is, having been out of the game for so long, I know some folks during the whole kind of stay-at-home thing dove into music and were really practicing and writing and doing all this stuff, and I kind of went the other way. I kind of, I didn't really mess around too much with my guitar and anything, with music. So I guess I'm not worried, because I believe I'm capable, but if I was going to worry, I'd be like, all right, well, hopefully, I can pull off an entire show after not having done it. But the good news is I got a partner this time, so I don't have to, all the weight isn't on me. It's a bit of a, it's shared, if you will.
So when you were in the COVID or the quarantine or the break, what did you do? Did you get into a different kind of art, or was your mind always thinking about, or were you just like, I'm letting go?
What did I do? Initially, when it happened, I still didn't understand what was going on, like everybody else, and I thought, okay, well, we might be, locked up for a few weeks, but, this is going to go away. And so I was still anticipating going out and performing, and I think my wife and I did like a little music video for one of my songs for the record that I had just released, just to kind of move that along. And then when it was clear this was going to be a more, serious thing, I kind of went into like, house mode, taking care of the house. And
that's what I did too.
Yeah, Home Depot. I spent a lot of time at the DIY center. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bro, it was like every fucking weekend. Home Depot, we would just go to the grocery store, go to Home Depot, and then literally made our house into a home. Because I'm always on the run, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this, and it forced you to slow down and really, smell the roses, so to speak.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so that's, you and I were doing the same kind of thing. I think I had so much of an overload for so many years of, rapid fire touring, like, Winery Dogs, make a record, go tour, stay out, and then I did the same thing with my own stuff. So it's almost like when I had no choice but to stay home, I kind of embraced it, thought, okay, well, I'm going to try to see if I can make this work by just kind of not doing much of anything.
So you have a show at the Ventura Theater, and this kicks off the tour Saturday, right? The 15th?
Yeah.
why did you start with Ventura, and are you a frequent visitor in that area?
Well, to be honest, these decisions aren't made by me and me alone. We thought, we're together. Adrian and I, knew that, Adrian was going to be in California for a while. And initially our conversation was, hey, let's try and do a show, see if we can put something together. And then the booking agent that handles my bookings and the Winery Dogs, he and I got to talking, and he said, if you want, I can put together a run of dates, stuff that's all close, easy to get around. And, hopefully it sticks, it doesn't get canceled because of health reasons and what have you. So we told them, go for it and put something together. So this is what they came back with. And I think it's perfect for us because, ultimately we'd love to just get on a bus and go all the way across the country. And everyone's asking, why aren't you coming to New York? Why not Florida, this and that? But, we just wanted to just do something. Initially it was just going to be one show, and we were able to put this together. And, hopefully this leads to a more of a longer, more extensive touring situation. But at least now we're taking steps to get back to what it is that we do, which is play music.
How do you guys decide, how does this whole project come together, from the infant? What was the initial thought, and who reached out to who? How did you guys, figure this out? Because the art that you guys are putting out is pretty fucking amazing. And
yeah.
It's I didn't know I need this. I needed this, but I didn't realize it.
That's nice. Well, it came together. I've been friends with Adrian for quite some time, and he would have these parties around the holidays. His wife Natalie's birthday is around Christmas, so they would have these sort of Christmas birthday party things that would go on at their house out here in Malibu. And one year, every year there would be a jam session, and whatever musicians were there would go into the little music room and mess around. And one of these years there was a jam session, and there was some kind of a photograph that went around of us playing together. And then we had the idea to try to write something. I think it was Natalie that said, you and Adrian have time. You should try and write a song. And that's usually how this stuff happens. That's how the Winery Dogs started. It's this kind of innocent, hey, yeah, let's try and write a song. And then next thing you know, there's more to it happening. So that's really how it started. And then I think the first song we did was Running. And then after that, the song Scars. And then the third one was Running, Scars. I can't remember what the third one was, but then all of a sudden we're like, hey, we might be onto something here. It's kind of cool. And then that's really how it came about.
It's amazing. One of my favorite songs that you guys do is Taking My Chances. And bro, the solo in that song is so fucking beautiful. And in music now, it feels like you're not allowed to do a solo, or it's sort of, looked down upon, or it's not, mainstream. But do you feel that the art of the solo is dying? And my other question is are you real good at math? Because, there's a bunch of people who do solos, but something about the way you do solos in particular that really is special. And it's just maybe you had that part of your brain unlocked.
Wow. Well, thanks. Not terribly good at math, but, I don't know. I played. It's interesting. I get these kind of how do you do this, how do you do that questions, and I played so long that I've kind of, when I was young, I learned the theory. I learned modes, they call it, how the notes fit together. And I learned, where the notes are on the fretboard and what they sound like. And at this point, I kind of just hear stuff and have developed enough facility in what I do where I can kind of, what I'm hearing in my head, I can channel it through on the instrument. And then, of course, like anything else, you got things that would fall under the category of muscle memory, where it's like, okay, well, I kind of know where this is, I know where that is, and certain little patterns that, that come up, you have your go-to vocabulary. I guess it's like, a person that writes, you're telling a story, it might be a different story, but you're still using the collection of words you know. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
It's a combination of things. But thanks for the compliment, man. I'm glad you're digging it.
No, I really do. And the thing is that, I knew who you were, I knew who Adrian was, and then when you guys came together, I didn't know that you guys even came together. So to have this, I put 4 or 5 songs on my playlist from Jim just by doing the research on, and I love it. And, I'm definitely going to, I'm going to do a write-up in my magazine about it. I fucking love you guys. So thank you so much for even giving me the opportunity to be able to help support you.
Awesome. Yeah, and looking forward to the show out there in Ventura, and thanks for the interview, man.
Yeah, well, I have a couple more, easier, non-musical questions, just so I can put out there as, I'm going to put it on social media, little clips of this. I'm going to put the whole interview out, and I'm going to put clips of it. And I think some of these questions would, encourage someone to click or whatever.
Okay, cool.
What is your favorite lyric? And it doesn't have to be your lyric period of all time.
Oh, man, these are going to require some thought off the top of my head. Man. Oh, shit, I wish I would have known about that ahead of time. How about if
we can come back to that question.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. If you had a dream concert with 4 people, alive or dead, and one of those 4 people has to be the headliner, who would you pick for your dream concert?
Well, I would have loved to have seen David Bowie in his prime, that's for sure. I'd probably say that.
David Bowie?
Yeah. It's somebody I never got to see, and I would have loved to have seen him. Yeah, absolutely.
3 other people?
Well, I never saw The Who, so that would be a group that I'd like to see. Black Sabbath back in the day, in the 70s, I would have loved to have seen that group. Huh? Yeah. And, I did see Prince a couple of times, but it would have been cool to see Prince when he first came out on one of his very early tours.
Yes. Definitely Prince is always the mainstay on when this question comes up. For me, I love Prince. Fuck. What is your mom or dad's signature dish?
Lasagna.
All right. What is life teaching you right now?
I've embraced this new thing called the power of no. Now, I know people talk about the power of yes, but as I've gotten older, wow, what a great thing to be able to just say no to something that you're just not interested in getting involved in. And as a young man, there's been so many times where people ask you to do something and your gut's like, I don't really want to do that. I don't think that's going to really turn out so well or be worth the energy or whatever the reason is. But you end up saying yes to things and you kind of get caught. And I've had so many things where I said yes to reluctantly because I just didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I just wanted to go with the flow. And, as an older guy, not that I'm old, but, I'm halfway, more than halfway through. And the power of no, I just loved it. And not to be a jerk either, but, hey, do you want to blah, blah, blah? No, I really don't want to do that. Nothing personal. I think there's a lot of freedom in that.
That's a big problem for me. Is I have one or two things. One, I don't want to be the dick, and two, I have FOMO and fear of missing out.
Right. right. Of course.
So it's one of those two things. I'm like, oh my God, please, just don't ask me shit, please.
Yeah, don't ask me shit. Exactly. Right.
So I don't have to be this asshole.
Yeah.
And then if you don't do it, then you're an asshole. Like, because I'm a promoter in my town, and I have a magazine, and there's always somebody asking, "Oh, can you do this or can you do that?" And I just want to help everyone. I just want to be a good dude, but sometimes it's like, fuck, it just takes too much out of me.
Yeah, that's right. Uh-huh.
All right. So I have one last question, and then we'll go back to the lyric question. How have you almost died?
Well, I thought I was going to die in Bulgaria one time. We were in an airplane, and man, we were all convinced that was the end, the angle that the plane was coming in, the wind, and we were in between two rows of buildings, and that was one of the few times I can recall where I thought, wow, this might be how it ends. And that was a kind of, I remember, we were all crossing ourselves,
Yeah.
And it was kind of a stressful scenario, but we pulled out of it, literally.
That's fucking awesome story. And then, which leads me to my last question: what is your favorite lyric?
Well, I'm going to pick something, because this is really to answer this, and I don't know if there's a way to put a caveat in there when people read this, but to answer this question thoroughly, I really would need to sit down for an hour or so and think about it. But off the top of my head, I'm going to pick a song off the Smith Kotzen record, and I'll just cop that lyric. I'm taking my chances. I can't go no further down. I live in the mansion of the lost and found. And so that's a lyric off of the Smith Kotzen record from the song Taking My Chances. So we'll go with that.
My man, dude. You are a true legend, and I thank you so much for your time. I can't wait. I should be there at the show on Saturday.
Oh, good.
And, I'll be cheering you on, my man.
Excellent. Thank you for your time, and I'll hopefully see you there.
All right, buddy. We'll see you then.
Cheers. Bye.
All right, cheers. Bye.